Hello everyone and welcome back to JB Solo Gaming, where today we're going to take a look at One Deck Dungeon. So this game is a digital representation of the physical board game One Deck Dungeon. I have not played the physical board game, but I am familiar with it, and we're going to go take a look at how well this is implemented. We're going to go ahead into new game. There is a how to play here, and they do kind of tell you how to play. I have to say this isn't the best how to play ever. It does kind of seem basically like the rulebook, just printed out. So there isn't really a tutorial, but I do want to point out this is early access right now. So you can check this out on Steam for $15 right now. But it is early access. They may eventually put in a better tutorial. They may eventually change some other things. I'm not sure. This is the game as it is now. We're doing a new game right now, and we're actually just going to do the first cave on novice level. Now you can choose the different dungeons to go through. You can change your different levels and decide which heroes that you want to go in with. Now the reason I'm going to do this way is, first of all, it's going to be easier for me to talk while we're kind of yeah, you know what, which one? Yeah, we'll use this one. Why not? It'll be easier for me to talk and play if I'm not really going through that difficult of a dungeon. This game does have a leveling up system, a persistence, how you get heroes better, just like the actual board game, and depending on which type of thing you're doing, if you're doing these with the green or the orange or the red here, you can basically mark off different icons on the character that will help give characters persistent things like these characters have right now. And these are the two that we've leveled up so far. You can play with just one hero or two heroes if you're not familiar with the game. I figure I'll play with two heroes just to show that off a little bit. You can see also I had the check mark there for hero progression. Now, basically this timer up here, if you're not familiar with the game, is the timer of the level of the dungeon we're on. It basically represents cards. You may have special effects that cause you to, in effect, discard cards, but in this game it's also kept track of up here, basically how thick our deck is, and once we run out on a certain level, we want to get to the next level, because the longer we stay, we can basically take damage based on how long we stay after we run out of cards here. So the first thing we're going to do is explore the dungeon. Now you can do this later after these four things are not out there. Maybe only two of them are missing, and then it'll draw two cards and take the timer down by two. So these would be cards in the game. They'd be face down, and we'd choose one to go into. Now I do want to point out, if you're playing single player, then each individual hero has certain abilities. Like for example, my paladin, for every 2 damage they would take, they'd only take 1. So well, for every 2 it goes down to 1, so if we took 3 damage we'd still take 2, is basically the way that works. That isn't triggered when we're playing this cooperative game, when we're working together to complete tasks. So let's go ahead and open a door and check things out. So we'll talk a little bit about how the game is actually played for those of you who aren't familiar with it, so you understand what's going on, and then also we will talk about what I think about this representation in video game form for those of you who are interested in checking out whether you're familiar with the game or not. So whenever, if we defeat this encounter, this is our potential loot. We're going to be able to choose between these 3 things. Now this character has a special ability. Whenever we have a 4 XP encounter pop up, now they have this heroic die. Again, if we were playing in the single player variant with this character, they can actually store 2 dice here. They don't have to use it immediately on the challenge that they're on, but it kind of makes sense for us to use this now because we can only store 1 when we're playing with a partner here. We're either going to come across monsters or like traps and barriers and things like this. And then if we come across, so we're going to fight this barrier first, we can decide how we want to go about doing this. We can either climb around, and you can see we're going to need 11 of, like, basically what the rogue is good at. These, I don't remember what the dice are called, like fighting dice, magic dice, and then like speed or agility or something like that. I'm not quite sure. And these numbers here represent the dice we have. The paladin starts with 2 fight and 2 magic, and then we have 3, I don't know, let's call it agility and 1 magic here. So if we do this one, we'll need an 11 total, and we have to have a 2 to get past this armor. Armor we'll talk about, but basically you have to get through the armor before you can do anything to the encounter, and even if you don't complete the whole encounter, you'll still get credit for it, as long as you at least got through the armor. But if we do this, we'll also lose 3 times. So this is a little bit easier option with a lower number, but it'll cost us more time, and this one's harder. You might say, why don't you always go with the easier one? Well, we want to stay on a level of a dungeon as long as possible in order to level up. So let's go ahead and enter the dungeon. Now we could walk away and just not face this. If we do this, then this card's going to remain face up, and ideally we probably want to clear out all 4 of the cards and then explore, because again, using the explore action is going to take up some time. But you can, if you just think, hey, I'm not going to be able to do this challenge, you can walk away from it. So what do we want to do in this situation? Well, we can see we have 3 blue dice, or 3 of the pink dice. So I think we're going to go ahead and lose the time and try this one. Now we have a choice here. We can skip the heroic feat, or we can go ahead and use a heroic feat. So our heroic feat here, we have this die. We're going to use it, and we're going to roll here and see what we get. We got a 6. That's fantastic. That's going to help out a lot. And now the rogue has kind of a gambling ability. So we're going to go ahead and use this. And basically, as long as we don't roll a 1, we can use this on any encounter we want. This is a pretty rough encounter, a 4 experience one, when we haven't upgraded at all and we just have our base abilities we start with. I do want to point out I have some extra abilities on these people that they wouldn't normally start out with because they are leveled up a little bit, particularly on our paladin here. So, oh, and there we go. We rolled a 1. When we roll a 1, we take a damage and lose 3 times. So, yeah, I kind of wish we hadn't done that. Also, since we actually start at level 2 when we're playing on Novice, you'd usually start on level 1. But on level 1 and level 2, you, or maybe it's just on level 2, I don't remember exactly, but you have 1 heroic die. By leveling up as either individual, if you're playing as a single player, or as a team, you eventually can get more of these heroic dice, and we can decide who will roll it. But for every encounter right now, we're going to have 1 of them. I don't know, we will have this character roll it, because this character has an ability that lets them re-roll 1s on this type of a thing, a reroll on Dungeoneering encounters. You can see there's a skull where it's crossed out and a trap symbol. It means we can use this on the traps but not against monsters, and then this character has the opposite one. Basically, we're going to use that in fights. So let's roll and see what we have here. Now, if we were to spend something higher than a 2 on this area, that doesn't really help us at all. So we're just going to go ahead and spend a 2 exactly. Also, on small boxes, you can only spend 1 die. On large boxes, you can spend multiple dice. So we are going to very easily be able to defeat this encounter. Maybe it was dumb of me to use this ability here and have them take a wound. You can see this character has 4 health right now, but we can heal them and level them up. So we were able to defeat this encounter. If we did not fill out this box, though, this would be really bad. We would take 2 wounds and lose 4 time. We would divide up the wounds between the characters. If we had 3 wounds, we'd decide who would take the 3rd wound. So we did defeat that encounter, and we get loot. So we could just take 4 experience. This is our experience meter over here, and leveling up allows us to have more skills. It allows us, I'm trying to remember everything does it, but it's good to level up. We could take this skill here. Oh, so yeah, here we go. We can basically carry 2 items and 2 skills right now. So this is an ability we could give to somebody, and we would spend a pink die and prevent up to 2 time loss before suffering consequences. That's kind of cool. But we're going to take this. Items usually just give us an extra die, but in some cases, and usually the higher experience ones, will also give us an extra health. So you know what? I'm going to give this actually to the rogue. You can see now their health goes up by 5. They're also carrying 1 item now. Remember, they can carry a maximum of 2 at this level. So let's go ahead and explore. Let's see if we get a monster this time or another trap. Nope, we got another trap. Okay, now this one is 3 experience. They're either going to be 2, 3, or 4. So it's also, this one's also a little bit tricky. And at this point too, we have 3 pink dice and 2 of the fight dice. So, but this number is a lot lower. So maybe we're actually better off going with this one and just being willing to lose the time. We'll see. Well, we'll enter it either way. We're definitely going to try to do this. And you know what? I think... yeah, I think we're going to do this one. Well, yeah, you know what? We're going to do this one. And we are going to use this heroic feat again. And we're going to say we're not going to get a 1 this time. We're not going to... okay, we almost got a 1 that time. And basically with this here, any character... so in this example, if this rogue had fight dice, they would both roll. We're just determining this black symbol here is who's going to roll the heroic die. So I'm going to give it to that character again because we can re-roll 1s with this ability. And we actually rolled a 1, so we'll get to see that here. We're going to click on this. We're going to re-roll one die, and then we're going to click on that die, and we're going to get a 4. So that's even better. Now, we're going to have to spend at least a 2 here, which we can easily do, and then we can easily now defeat this encounter. We're not going to take any negative consequences. We can see down here, and we will end the encounter. Now, this is kind of interesting. I kind of like this ability. We have to spend at least a total of 4 value of magic dice, and then if we do, we will get a 4 fight, a 4 dexterity or speed or whatever it is, and then we can add 1 to the value of a die. I think we might just take that, although just getting more dice is pretty nice too. You know what? We're just going to get more dice for now. I like that ability. And then at this point, we can carry up to 2, so we're fine. We can carry this in addition. But we could, at any point, trade this in, also swap it out for that, and get the experience for it. That's important to note. So if both of these characters already had 2 items, and we picked another item, we could then swap that item out with one of the ones we already have, and then it'll jump right to our experience. So you never lose a thing. Same thing with skills. If you get a skill, you can swap out one of the ones you have, and if you're already filled up. So we're not fighting any monsters. Holy cow. Now this one, we just got another pink. We have 4 pink now, and we have 4 blue also. Huh. So, I'm trying to think, what's the better option here? We want to save some time, and we already get this extra die for this one. Again, we can choose not to use it now, but if we come across another 4 experience one, then we're basically wasting that one. So we're going to enter. We are going to, you know what, we're going to go with the harder one. We're going to make sure we use this ability here. We're going to roll that. And, oh, we got a 6 again. That's fantastic. We're going to skip now this heroic feat, because, again, she can do this on any challenge she wants to, but obviously if you take a bunch of damage, that's bad. So we got lots of dice. I think we're in pretty good shape. We have to wait for those to stop. Oh, yeah, we definitely have this challenge. No problem. So we'll take this, put this on here, and then we will easily get through this encounter. And the encounter... And we got another one where we are going to get a health. So what's this one? So just roll... Ooh. That's really good, too. Just being able to just roll black dice. Black dice are wild and can be used for anything. But I really like getting health. We're going to do that. We're going to... As much as I love that skill, I also really value getting health. So, for any of you who have played this game a lot, I haven't played the board game before. You may be saying, no, that was a terrible decision. Now we're actually fighting a monster. Or no, we're not. We're still doing a puzzle. Never mind. We still have 2 options. This looked like a monster. We haven't had any monsters yet. That's insane. I promise we'll see a monster eventually. Alright, so this one, 2 XP, pretty straightforward. We'll enter, and we only still have 2 fight dice. So even though we'll lose 2 time by doing this, we're going to decipher it because, I mean, this will be easy for us. We've got plenty of dice for this challenge. And the other one I wasn't really sure what would happen. So we will roll this, man. And you know what? I'm not going to bother using the re-roll because it's just kind of a waste of time because we have enough that we can go ahead and do this in the encounter. We're kind of low on fight dice, surprisingly. That can be good, but I'm going to give this item here. And then now, again, like I said, it's a nice thing. Let's say I end up getting another item that I really like. I can just replace more ones I have now that we're filled up, and then it'll go to this experience bar. So let's now explore 4 more cards, and you can see we're starting to run low now on the available cards, and we lose 2 at the beginning of every turn. And we want to stay on a level as long as we can because we're getting experience for it, and we're getting items and leveling up and things like that. Now, okay, this is a level 4 monster. Now we'll finally be able to see how monster works, and this is a pretty tough monster. And here, again, you can see we could get a health item possibly, maybe swap out one with the rogue. I don't know, we'll decide. This goes pretty cool, too, to use 2 fight dice to get to agility in a fight or whatever. But let's enter. 3 time goes away because that's the frost encounter when we fight this thing automatically. We're definitely going to go ahead and use this heroic die because it makes sense to use it. Okay, we rolled a 4. We're rolling pretty good on this, guys. This could be a tough fight. You can see before we do anything else, we need 11 here in the fight, and we only have 3 fight dice. And we also want at least a 3 and a 3 here. I think we're going to use the rogue's ability here. and use their heroic feat because, again, black dice are wild. So a 6 would have been nice. But now, in this instance, I'm going to roll the 1 heroic die we have at this level with the rogue. The reason I'm doing that, again, is because if they roll a 1, then the paladin can let them re-roll it. So let's roll these first, and they rolled a couple of 1s here. So I'm going to roll my paladin's dice first. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this ability because we can use this in combat. Reroll those 2 dice, click on them, and see what we got. So quite a bit better there. Now, we don't need any of this in this encounter. Now, and also, let's look at our ability. So we started with this one where we can just raise... Oh, this is only use... Okay, I picked this skill because you can start with one of the basic skills. That's one of the abilities I unlocked for this character, and it's the first time I've used this one. I wanted to try it out, but you see the X on the skull. We can only use this on traps, so this is kind of grayed out. We can't use this ability against this monster. But we do have this ability already here, where we can gain a 4 of any type. Now, we have to spend at least 1 yellow die to do that, and that's not fantastic for this situation because we want yellow dice for this. So how do we want to do this? We're probably going to want to spend these yeah, let's see here. We do have, I think I'm gonna, okay, now here's where we're gonna talk about the game a little bit. There are some things that I don't really like about this game. Now, I don't particularly like some of the things in the user interface. First of all, once we get some more skills on here, it's not a big deal in a one-player game, but if you're playing with 2 heroes, you scroll this up and down, and the way it works is just a little bit clunky. I don't really like this really simple background that you constantly have here all the time. I kind of hope they do something else with this. And again, not that they're using space poorly, but I feel like they could use space a little bit differently and have a more interesting background. You know, the art in this and everything isn't fantastic, and while it may not even look as nice as when I recently looked at the the Tomb of Annihilation game, that is a game I didn't really recommend because I didn't think it translated super well to video gaming when there's already so many really good tactical combat role-playing type of games out there. Whereas in this, even though I don't think this game necessarily... I think some of the stuff, I think some of this art looks fine. I think the monsters in this, I wish it'd do something with the background. I wish it improved the UI a little bit. Like, I can't put this down here. I get why I can't put this down here until I fill this in, because you have to do this first, but then after I do that, I might accidentally go to end encounter after I filled this stuff in. It doesn't count if I do that. I'll have to take this back off and put it on. You'll learn it quickly. It's not that big of a deal, and I'm not even saying they should change that, but if you're not familiar with how it works, it might feel a little bit funky how some of the things like that work. So I'm just gonna place them here though as kind of placeholders. Because I'm trying to see if we can potentially fill everything out, which I don't think we can. Because that would only give us 8 on there. So if we do this, I'm just setting things to the side. So if we do all of these dice, because this is a wild, we could fill in all of these things. And then we would need 11 here. So here's 6. Now we can still do this though, because here's 7, 8. And then here's how we're going to get to 9, 10, 11. We're going to take 2 dice. We're going to take this one and then this one. Whenever you take 2 dice and put them in this thing over here, you will get a black die of the lower value. So if I put a 6 and a 1 in here, I only get a 1. So it's important which ones you use. So now we're going to go ahead and start filling this out. So we have 8, 9, 10, 11. And now we can put these dice in here and fill in these slots. So now we filled all this out. We had plenty left. We have a 4 left here. I didn't actually need to do this where I got the 3, but I figured we'll show that off. So, and we have stuff left over again, but you can do this as many times as you want, as much as you have dice for to get these dice. You can see down here we're on 0 consequences. So we defeat that monster and we're going to get this. This is a pretty cool skill, although we already have a decent amount of pink dice, and the different dungeons focus on different things. We are definitely going to need some pink dice against the boss, but we don't have a lot of yellow, and yellow are going to be important for this, so I don't necessarily think we're going to do this. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this item, and we're going to give it to the rogue, and we're going to replace the pink die they already have with a pink and a health. And then you can see the 3 experience that the item we had equipped was worth now goes into our experience. So we'll definitely be able to do at least one more card or room or whatever you would call it on the first level of the dungeon. So let's see here. This guy, we're getting a lot of high level stuff, which is kind of nice. You can see we've already buffed up our health and whatnot. So this guy's going to be pretty tough as well. We're definitely going to enter, and we do want some pink dice on this one. So I think we're going to be okay. We're definitely going to use this heroic feat and roll this. And now we have to ask ourselves, we rolled a 6. That's great. Do we want to use this one? You know what? I'm not going to do it. We're gonna risk it here. We're going to have her roll on the combat, again, because of that reroll potential. We rolled 1. Oh, but we discard 1s and 3s rolled. So this dude, I forgot they have this stupid, terrible ability. Okay, so now how are we going to do this? We want 2 6s, and we do not have 2 6s. So we have a blue 6. So, oh no, we do have 2 6s. Never mind, we have 2 of these. So, now we do have to cover up those 4 first, so we can go ahead and, yeah, I think we're just going to do this and do this. Now we can cover up the 6s. They have some pretty nasty stuff on them. So we're going to do this. Forgive me for Ozzy there. Alright, and do that. But now, we have to cover up 5s. And we can't do that. We have a 6 here, but we would need another 5 or a 6 to be able to trade in to do that. And we can't use this ability because this isn't a combat. So we are not going to be able to cover up either of those 5s, no matter how many dice we trade in. I apologize for the dog. You should come down quickly here. I'm assuming somebody just came home. So, how do we want to go about this? I really don't think we can do much of anything. I mean, we can get a die to cover up that 3, but that's about it. And this is where skills come in handy, so we can cover this up. Now at this point, we are going to take 3 wounds and lose 1 time, so that is a real bummer. And again, those of you watching at home may be like, oh, you should have done this, but I also don't want to... actually, we're going to have the rogue takes the extra damage here, and I'll tell you why in a second. So the rogue now has 3 damage and the paladin has 1. Now, we do get this. Again, do we want to... I really like getting the health. This is good, but again, we're not huge on fight dice right now. So I'm actually going to give this to the paladin to help them level up. Now, we're super low on fight dice if we do this, though. It's an interesting choice. We have a lot of health, just... almost nothing on fight dice, and we have abilities that use fight dice. Usually this isn't a problem. I end up getting more yellow dice, but I'm gonna do it because I'm a silly person. I don't know. But once we get to the next level, we'll be able to get more skills in that. Now, what I'm gonna do, I have 4 potions. Part of the reason I have so many potions is these characters have abilities that they start with more potions. I believe you also get a potion when you level up. The way potions work are a little bit weird. You start with healing potions. If you are in the dungeon, if you're in a room, they only heal you 2 health. If you're outside of combat, like we are right now, they will heal 3. So we'll drink potion, we'll give it to this character, and they'll go back down. So at this point, we can choose to stay. We can stay on floor 1 and do another room. However, for every 3 of these symbols we get here, one of our characters will lose a health. And we'll go, and yeah, there's a lot of things that can happen. So the longer we stay, especially if we lose time on these encounters, we're going to be in trouble. So we're going to go ahead and descend to the next floor of the dungeon. Sometimes it's worth it if you're really confident you can beat a challenge and you're not worried about it. Again, you lose 2 at the start of every turn, but sometimes it may be worth sticking around for at least 1 more room. That's going to be up to you to decide. And of course, if you end up having a really bad encounter, that can end up being pretty rough. So let's see, we got another trap here. I'm not thinking this is going to be too big of a deal. And at this point, again, all these abilities that use fight dice that we don't have. I think I'm going to just get the experience on this one, so that'll level us up, and then we can carry more items and use more skills and things like that. So let's go ahead and enter. Now this one's a little bit trickier. But we have a lot more of the pink dice than the fight dice, so we're going to go ahead and use this. And now you can see we have this is armor. We have to do this first, but we have two different boxes here. So yeah, I think we have enough dice. We're not going to use the rogue's heroic feat. So and we'll be able to re-roll that one as well. We won't be able to re-roll that one, but let's re-roll this. We rolled pretty low here. So let's go ahead and do this. And again, I think we got a 2. We definitely did not get a 6. So we can't, however, we can do this. We can raise 1 die by 1, and we got 2 5s. So let's raise this one. I'm not actually sure we'll use it here. We'll figure that out in a moment. But we're going to put this here. We don't have 14 though. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we are still not going to cover that up. Because if we cover that up, then actually, yeah, we'll be able to 14. Because if we cover this up, we won't be able to defeat this one. We'll take 3 wounds in 2 times, so that's a bad thing. So we'll just skip this one that it involves losing a health, and we get to decide who takes it. We'll let our pally take it here. And like I said, we're just gonna take this. I like a lot of the fight dice skills, but we need some fight dice. So now that we've leveled up, we can take another item, which is basically a die and potentially health. So we got another tough fight here, and we again discard 1s and 3s. So we're going to enter. We're going to use this heroic feat, and I think we're going to use 5's pretty good. I'm going to use it on this again because I'm a little bit worried about this fight. So we take a damage, we lose time, and then the 1 goes away anyways. Awesome possum. So yeah, apparently we should not have done that. So again, 1s and 3s go away, so we won't be able to re-roll them, which is a bummer. So multiple dice go away there. 1 die, it looks like will go away here, and we have low rolls. Ooh, this could hurt. This could hurt real bad. So, wow. What do we do with this? Wow. Yeah, this is not pleasant. So, we want this for there. So we can do this to get ourselves a wild 4. And we can use that to cover this up. Okay. We're going to use this to get a pink 4, because we can do that. We could actually just get black also. It doesn't really matter, but we're going to use pink and cover this up. Alright, so we're covering some things up. Now, we can do this here. We can use this. Now, I'm more worried about losing health or time. I'm more worried about this. Yeah. Oh, but we have this one to cover that up, sorry. And then I can cover this one up here. And everything's 2s now. We don't have a way of increasing anything. So we're going to take 4 wounds. Ow. Yep. And lose some time. And that did not go well. However, there we go. Another fight die. And a health. So let's go ahead and give that to the paladin. And I've got plenty of potions because we start off. Now bear in mind, you might think, oh, this is almost a little bit too easy. We have a bunch of potions, and it's not going that badly. This is not necessarily an easy game. This is the base level dungeon, and these are also leveled up characters, so you can definitely get a lot of challenge in this. I have beat the novice, and then I think the best I've done is beat the 2nd level dungeon on the 2nd difficulty so far, but it gets hard, trust me. And it can get even harder. So let's see here. This one's relatively straightforward. Good, we got another fight die for this one. I think we'll be okay on this one. So we will have her roll our heroic die. I believe when we get to level 4, we will get a 2nd heroic die. So we'll be able to re-roll those 1s, so that'll be nice. Not that I enjoy it. Man, so many 1s. Okay, maybe we won't be okay on this fight. I guess we'll see. Oh, a wild 6 and a 5. That'll definitely help. So let's worry about our armor first. So, well, let's just cover this up, let's see here. Guess we will do this. And this one, isn't really doing us a lot of good. So maybe I'll use it to get a pink. Huh. How do we want to do this? We can use that there. I guess we don't know. We don't need a pink. We've already got things we can cover those up with. That we don't... The one thing we won't be able to do, though, is we would need... Let's see, we have a 6 and then we have a 5 there. So, is there any way we can go about doing that? I don't really think so. We have a pink 5. We could use the pink 5 and pink 6. I'm thinking here. And then that would give us a 5, so we can cover that up. And then we could get a pink 4 from there, but we would still need a pink 3 from somewhere. So I don't know if that's really going to work. And we definitely need to cover up that pink 3 before we really do anything else. So... how do we want to do this? You know what? I'm going to do this for now. So if we cover this... I'm just trying to math out if there's a better way to go about doing this. So we could have a 5. We use you there. We don't have a way of increasing a die, so I'm not sure if there's a way we can get around to covering both of these. Yeah. Oh, we could do that, and then we'd lose 2 time. You know what? I think that's what we're gonna do. Yeah. So then... oh, but then I missed... yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we'll do this and we'll do this. We won't take any wounds, but we'll lose 2 time. So, and it's easy to think that losing time is no big deal. But it still is a big deal. I think because we're low on fight dice, we're just going to go ahead and give the rogue fight die here. We should be taking some skills, though, because skills allow you to manipulate dice, and I've been doing a bad job of taking skills. I don't think we've really taken any skills, and this is actually a good skill right here. Now that we have some more fight dice, I think we're going to take it. Oh, I just gave her a skill. Wow. I thought... okay, so my apologies, I just clicked on the wrong thing. I was thinking, and this is actually a good skill to give our paladin. For some reason I thought I was clicking on a fight die item. So, sorry about that, but we will enter. So I actually want to get rid of that skill pretty much immediately. Because it's useless for her because she doesn't have any yellow dice. I can't use my paladin's dice down here in her abilities. It's great, you could use a yellow 1 in order to get a yellow 6. It's a cool skill. But, screwed it up here. We could use black dice, though. So that's true. That is an important thing to note. So, what do we have here? I think we shouldn't have too much of a problem with this one. We don't need any pink, so I think we will do this. And then we can cover up that. And let's see here. Those are easy enough. And then that. And yeah, we're in good shape. So, an encounter with no consequences. Again, I think we're gonna take this and give it to the paladin. This is a useful skill I like. Some monsters don't have shields, so it's not always useful, but it is a nice ability to have. And again, we can scroll down to see it. Basically, this will allow us to use a fight die in order to gain a wild 6, which is fantastic, but it can only be used to cover up spaces that have a shield on it. So it can be very, very handy, particularly if you have a shield with a 6 on it. However, like I said, some encounters do not have one of those, so that ability is useless on some encounters. Okay, so... and then we can get another fight die here, or... I'm not a big fan of the Shimmer Glass skill, but this fight will hopefully be easy enough. So let's go ahead and roll these. I wish I could roll these too and not wait for that animation, but it's less of an issue if you're doing single player. So we do have a 1 down here, so let's go ahead and re-roll that one. We got a 6. Great. That works out just fine. So we have to put at least 4, and then we can do it. This is a big box, so we can use multiple dice, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this and get a 4. So there, that one's covered up. We'll cover up this. We'll cover up this. We will do this. We'll do this. All right, so we need a 3, which is easy enough trading in here. We'll get a 6, why not? And we need another 3. Oh, which, yeah, we already have this. So there we go. And an encounter. Now, we could... I might just keep this ability because I really like it. And if we're going to use our hero die or our heroic dice with her, I think I'm going to have her take it. And now she'll have 2 potential dice to use that ability. So it was kind of a dumb play. It was kind of a misclick. So you know what? Just to show it off, we're going to stay on floor 2. We're going to do it. And we're going to open a door. Now, our turn has already technically started. So we don't lose 2 right away. So as long as we don't lose, like, 3 time on this or whatever, like, we should be okay. I'm trying to remember if the 2-time triggers before we decide if we go down to floor. I don't remember. But this would be a good example of staying on a floor. So this is a 4 experience encounter. There's definitely the potential for us losing time on this. We take 1 as soon as we enter the encounter. We'll take it on the Paladin. The Paladin has 7 health. We will definitely use the Paladin's ability here and roll. And we rolled a 1, which is a bummer. We're going to use our Rogue's Heroic Feat too, because that 1 isn't helping us out a great deal. And we did not roll a 1 on that, so that's great. So we will use this again with her, roll these, and roll these once we can roll these. Yeah, so overall, as we're kind of figuring out what to do on this encounter, check in real quick what I like about the game or don't like about the game. Now, this character, you can see they don't have any shields. This ability is useless. We can trigger this, however, but interestingly enough, this doesn't really help us. We only have this 1 yellow spot, so getting a yellow 6 isn't necessarily that great unless we want to use that 6 to trade in. We've already got this, although we could put this is interesting. We could put this black 2 on here. So if we do this, then we will actually get a yellow 6 that we could then use as part of a trade-in, which it may be worth doing. We'll check that out in a second here. So there's nothing we need to cover up absolutely. Well, we probably definitely want to do that. Now, are we going to be able to get a 6 there? We do have this pink 6 that we could use, because if we cover this up, we now no longer need any pink. So you know what? I think I'm actually going to do that. I think I'm going to trade this in, get this. So now we can trade in a 6 and a 6, and we will get a wild 6 that we can go ahead and cover this up. We do have this, we do have this, and I think the future's looking bright. Gotta wear shades. I think we are in good shape here. Yep. So we were able to defeat this encounter. We will end the encounter. We will get our loot, and we were able to get 4 more experience, or this, or an ability. What do we want to take? Let's see here. Change a die to a 6. It must be spent as mana on a skill. We're not really using a bunch of abilities. We're not using any abilities right now that use mana. So it's basically how much value of blue dice that you use. And this is specifically, you'd have to use it on these, but we don't really have abilities to trigger off of that. We could just get 4 experience, or we could get another health. If we do this, though, we're losing, and we only have so many fight dice. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And fight dice are pretty important. And this may sound silly, but I'm actually going to take experience because I definitely want to get to the next thing. Now, here's the deal. If we stay on floor 2 again, okay, so now I know that will start our turn. We will take 2, and You know what? I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident because if we get to 3, then we'll take a wound. I'm pretty confident we can do it in the next encounter without getting another one. So we're at 2 right now. Let's go ahead and open a room, and as long as we don't lose any time on this encounter, then we manage to get 2 extra things at the end of it, and that's pretty nice. Oh, this could be a good skill for a rogue to have. You trade in 1 fight die, and you get, or 1 of the agility die and get 2 fight die. So yeah, we're going to do this. If we do the disenchant, we will automatically lose 3 time and definitely take a wound, and then maybe potentially more than that. So we're going to dodge them instead. We are going to use our heroic feat here just to try to make. But if I roll a, oh, I should have thought about that. If we roll a 1, we lose 3 times. So there's a wound right there for that. So that would be a bummer. So let's go ahead and roll these up, and we're looking pretty good. I think, yeah, we'll be all right. We got a 6, so we'll put that there, we'll put that there, and then we were able to defeat another encounter without taking any consequences. And, yep, we're going to give this skill to the rogue, and we're not going to replace the skill. We could replace this skill, but I actually think this will be all right. We could even do a thing where we trade in a agility dice to get 2 fight dice, and then use one of the fight dice we roll in order to make it a 6. So that's not a bad combination. We are not going to stay on floor 2 now. We're going to be guaranteed to take at least 1 wound if we do that. So we will now descend to the next floor. Alright, so what do I think about this game? Overall, I've said it before, I feel like while I previously did a video on Tomb of Annihilation, and it overall was pretty. It wasn't necessarily the highest production values ever, but it was a nice looking game. And I don't think this game is all that nice looking. It could be the biggest negative. I do think it could use some UI improvements, some user interface improvements. However, this just translates well. So we'll go ahead and enter here, and remember to use this. This translates really well to video game medium. I think because we rolled a 6, maybe we will skip on hers. Although we need a lot of fight. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And this is a game, nice, we didn't roll one, where playing the game could potentially in real life, this game, it's not a huge setup, or anything like that, but you have the cards and dice or whatever. You can get through games more quickly, obviously, doing this. And one of the nice things about video games, whether you're playing them on iOS or on a PC, I like the ability of just being able to just have the computer set it up and play very quickly. And I feel like this game translates pretty well to being played on a PC. So while I would probably prefer this being like a $10 game, and hopefully they will improve some things in the UI and the backgrounds and things like that, if you really like the board game and you want to be able to play that game quickly overall, then I feel like this is probably a pretty good purchase. Or if you're not familiar with it, while I had heard of it, I hadn't played it, overall I am enjoying my experience though. So I feel like the gameplay of it is pretty solid. Could definitely use a few improvements, but I feel like this translates well to the video game medium. Alright, so how do we want to go about doing this? We do not need any pink dice on this. So we're going to spend this. So now we're finally using some skills, and we're going to get to roll 2 of these. And whichever one the lowest one is, we can now plop that down here. So I actually meant to do that the whole time. Alright, so we're going to need 11 and 10 and then a 3. So maybe I'll set aside this 4, and then we'll see how well this is going to work out. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we're going to want another 3, actually. Now, what I can do, there we go. Yeah, I think we're just going to do this. So now we can do this. We're still a little bit off, though. That's all right. Yeah, we're still missing one. We'll see what to do about that. We'll probably swap some stuff in eventually. So, because I think we're actually in pretty good shape. We have another 6 here. We have a 5. We have another 6 here. So yeah, we definitely have plenty of dice to get that last 3. So yeah, this was a relatively tough encounter. However, we came away unscathed. So, oh, I missed the wilds that I had down there. We were in plenty of good shape. Again, so what does this do? that can be pretty good, but let's see here. We are at our max right now, and everything but one has an extra health. However, I don't want to replace, like, the only one that doesn't have an extra health is this fight dice, and I think we need the fight dice. We have plenty of the agility dice now, so we're just going to take the 4 XP. And then once we get up to the next level, so the next card we put in XP, because they're all worth at least 2, we're going to level up again. So we are in pretty good shape at this point, and I definitely want to keep going so that you guys can see the boss fight. So this is tough. We have 3 things to fill in here, including a 6 and a 5, although this one is not armor, so we don't have to do this one. But we are going to get an extra die from here, so we're definitely going to do it. Again, you can choose to back out and just not have to do that encounter. We are going to do this because we have 5. Oh, we actually have 5 and 5. So the difference is only 3, but that can make a difference. Is it worth losing 3 time for that 3 difference? Probably not. We're going to try to run past it. So we're definitely going to use this ability here. And a 2. Well, we can use it on that armor. We're going to do it. We're going to roll. And hopefully not. Okay, we didn't roll a 1. Great. So we'll have you roll the heroic die here. And getting to level 4 is nice. That's something we definitely want to do, because we do get an extra heroic die, I believe. So we do. Oh, we do have a 6. Okay, can we do all of these is the question. We can do that. We can do that and do that. Do we have 14 left? I don't think we do. So how short are we? 11, 12. We are too short. And we don't. This can only be used in combat. This can be used. This is kind of a bummer, because this can be used on a thing, and this will bring us up by 1. So we'll end up being 1 short. Is there anything else we can do? I don't think so. So we can get up to 13. Wow. We almost have enough to defeat this. Oh. Well, yeah, but this isn't the character that rolled the 1. So, because if we could re-roll that 1, that would be very helpful to us. So it looks like, as much as this hurts to do, I think, yeah, it's only 1 wound. It's no big deal. So I think we're going to have to take a wound here and encounter, and we'll give it to the paladin. Oh, and they also healed up when they went down a level, which is one of the abilities you don't normally start with, but we have now. How much experience? This is 2 experience. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace this fight die with this one, and then the 2 experience will transfer over here, and now we level up. Great. Now at this point, if we level up again, I believe we just get another potion. So we're in pretty good shape. So we definitely want to get some more items and skills before we go on to fight the boss. But it's nice to be at level 4 when you go ahead and do that. And staying those extra 2 rooms on the last level definitely helped us out with that. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll just fight. Yeah, we're not going to do anything heroic. You roll that die, and then you'll roll 1 too. Why not? We do have the 2 heroic dice now. We could have given them both to the rogue, but I just felt like mixing it up for no real reason. Probably would have been smart to give them both to the rogue. But also, you want to think about, too, the abilities you have and the skills, because you also want to give certain people dice depending on the skills they have and not just worry about the rerolls. We do need a lot of fight. So, we have that. We don't have a pink 5, actually. Huh, that's kind of a bummer. We don't really have a way to level anything up. Ooh, that's not good. I'm trying to think here. So, we're going to do this, and we're going to hope that, I don't know how this is going to go. Well, we're going to spend this to get to a 6. Excuse me. I have no way, for all the pink dice we have, if we could level 1 up on here, that would be nice, but we can't really do that. So, let's think about this for a moment. If we do this and this, do we still have 10? Yeah, we still have 10 here. So that's fine. So, we have this and this. So if we cover up all the armor, now we can start putting stuff down here. don't really think we have a good way of getting to that pink 5. That's a real bummer. So we can do this. Now we can do this easily enough. We can use, oh, I didn't mean to do that one. We can go up to here and use this and get that. So that's fine and dandy. We can cover one of these up, and then we can use these to get another one. So we'll take a wound at a time, but not too worried. Oh, we didn't need to do that. We had that anyways. So, but yeah, I don't have anything that's going to level up a die. So, and if any boxes are empty, we will lose 2 times 2. So that's why we're losing 3 times down into consequences. But while I've complained a little bit about the... Oh, I should have put it on the rogue because they'll both heal 1 when they go down a level. Well, that was kind of dumb. So, do we want to... If we take a potion, we'll get an extra potion, so that's not bad. And I'm not really sure if we're going to get to another experience level, and I don't really want this. So, you know what? Let's just take a potion. Why not? So we also now, and it's weird, our potions can be used now that we've unlocked this other potion. We still have 4 potions, and we can use it for either one of these, is how the potions work. So, you know, the potions we had weren't necessarily healing potions. They were a generic potion that can be used for any potions we have unlocked. Now, this is nice. Change 2 of your non-wild dice to 6s. That's a nice ability. Although, to be fair, I was forgetting, we could have just taken an item because we can have 4 items now. So, we may take an item on that. Although, that's a really nice... I don't know. We'll decide. So, yeah, we'll skip heroic feat. We will have you roll both. Why not? Because of the re-rolling ones. And, because I do need to remember, we can carry 4 skills and 4 items now. So, maybe I should have just taken the die. I forgot about that on the last one. So we're going to re-roll multiple ones here. Okay. So, re-roll 3. Bam. And we got some better stuff. Okay. So, well, we're definitely going to do this. Get these. And roll those. And we might as well take this and make it a 6. So, there we go. Nice 1-2 combination. So, let's see here. Let's go ahead and fill this in. And fill these in. And now we can worry about the rest. So, we have that. We do not have another blue 5, but we can probably find a way of doing that. So, if we do this... Let's see here. Well, I can take you... Get a 4. Cover one of you up. Cover you up. We can use you as that. And now we only have 1 left, so we can go ahead and do this. There we go. Good to go. And no consequences. Excellent. So now we're going to run into the situation. So I think... This is so good. You know what? I really want another fight die. But this potion is super powerful. So I'm going to take that potion. Now, there are no cards left for us to look at. So we can't even stay on the level. So let's descend. Alright, so now we're fighting the boss. Now this boss here, they're going to have armor. And then these over here, the way these work, you can see wild dice cannot be placed on the skull boxes. Every one of these skull boxes that we fill in will do 1 damage to the creature. This creature, if we look at it, let's flip it over. We can see here all this stuff, and that the creature has 6 health. So... At best, we can defeat this creature in 2 rounds. We can't defeat this creature in 1 round. And again, okay, so we need 6s. Well, that's kind of rough in order to do that. And we need 2 pink 5s. So here's the deal. This dungeon kind of focused not that much on having pink, but we need 2 pink 5s at the end. So dungeons in general may focus on one or two specific things they have more of, but that doesn't mean you don't need any of whatever it doesn't have. So we can decide to use a potion before we fight. We're not going to do that. And we are going to have the rogue... Yeah, the rogue's gonna roll both of the extra dice. And they do have some cool abilities, including, you know, guaranteed that. But this character does have this ability here, which we will probably use at some point if we need to get a pink 5. Now, because remember, this ability that we haven't really used, and I almost forgot, again, because it's not displayed all the time, that we even had that ability, because I usually use that ability a lot. So maybe I haven't had opportunities, or maybe I just missed it and forgot about it. Now, we have 2 pink 6s, so that's pretty good. Now, we only need 3, and we can actually get a die to cover up one of these 5s with that. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do this right away. And the reason I did that first is because we were going to spend that anyways. So if I rolled a 1 on one of these dice, then we would be able to re-roll it. So now we're going to use the re-roll ability. Re-roll 1, bam. Alright, that's fine and dandy actually. So we don't have to do that. And we can use our yellow dice for fighting, which is important. Alright, great. So we've covered up the 2 armor we need to cover up. We've done 1 damage. We've done 2 damage. We've done 3 damage. Now the question becomes, where are we at as far as these? Because if we don't cover up both of these, that's a total of 8 wounds. However, we were easily enough able to do that one. Are we going to be able to do this one? With the black dice, oh, even without the black dice, yeah. So we're in great shape. We, no, again, bear in mind, this is easiest difficulty, easiest dungeon, with characters that have leveled up quite a bit. So we take no wounds and do 3 damage, so that's great. Again, normally, if we didn't have any upgrades and things like that, and we would have started level 1, not at level 2, you're not necessarily going to roll through and kill the first boss the first time you do this. And I even forgot about this potion we had, so we're going to do this again. I want to do this because, yeah, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to play well while you're doing commentary, but if you're looking at this again thinking this game is super easy, trust me, it's not. These are some leveled up characters, yeah, so we're going to start off with this again. And it's not necessarily this easy, and this is the easiest possible setting you can be on. Well, actually, I think we will re-roll that one first, because if it ends up being, maybe it ends up being a 6, then we can use that 2 to get a 6, so I don't know, let's do this. Oops, no, don't end round. Okay. And it was a 6! How about them apples? Alright, so we're in great shape again, actually. Pink, pink, pink. So we're getting some good rolls. We do not have a blue 6, however. So, do we have a way of getting that? I don't think we necessarily do. Now we could... Let's see here. If we take this... You know what? Oh, I really want to replace that, and it's not letting me replace that. This is another problem I have. Sometimes, like, the dice, as far as, like, putting them in, normally I can pull them out of the big boxes. However, can I not use those on armor? Maybe? Is that the problem? I'm trying to think here what the issue is. If I take this off, can I swap it? No. Okay, so I guess I'm not getting that die back. So that's kind of a bummer, because I would like to get that back. Now we can do this, but if we do that... Because if I could get that die back, we could end up doing 3 damage to the creature by doing some trade-ins and stuff like that. However, I think we're going to have to go another round. So that kind of bums me out. So, I think we're going to be... Oh, wait, what am I doing? We can do our potion. Da-da-da, I was forgetting about our potion. So, we're going to change. Drink potion. We will have... You do it, why not? So we will change this blue one into a 6. And this blue one into a 6. Why? It doesn't really matter. So there we go. I forgot about the potion that we took specifically because it's really good. Alright. So the damage isn't going to matter so much. We can definitely take 4, but you might as well just do this and ensure that we're not taking too much here. Can we actually get this one as well and just go for broke? Yeah, we can. So again, this wasn't as easy setup as I could possibly make it. We will end the round now. And we have defeated the final boss. You can see here now each character has earned 8 of the green circles. I did want to show this off to you. So the green circles here are obviously like the easiest to fill out. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start filling out this one. And then I guess we'll use the rest on this one. So the green ones are... Oh, actually I missed this. We have this one too. And I could have filled that in too. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. We will eventually, actually I'm going to undo because I want to fill this one the rest of the way. Oh, we got to undo multiple. We're going to undo the whole thing. Alright, so we're going to fill you out all the way and fill you out all the way. Not really looking all that much at what they do. And again, if we play on the second level dungeon, as you can see, we've done the one that was kind of in yellow. We'll eventually get these. And then there are special abilities for this character in these that you have to do, like the hardest with the red level dungeon in order to get those. So we filled those out for that character. Let's fill out for this character. Do they have any partially filled in? Let's see here. Which one do we want to do? Now this one, actually... So yeah, we need to send heal 1. So the other character has that already. So now this is completely filled in and that unlocks. What do we want to start working on next? I don't even know. Let's do knowledge. I don't know. Why not? So there we go. That's the experience we got. We'll go back to the main menu here. And that is a full run of One Deck Dungeon. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did enjoy it and you actually want to see more of it on the channel, if you want to see like a higher difficulty thing, if you want to see a single player playthrough, let me know and we could do with just one individual character. With one individual character, it's a little bit trickier, again, because you're not being able to mix those dice and you have to like make sure you're able to get enough stuff for that character. At the same time, you do have like special abilities, and those characters, if they're by themselves, are a little bit more powerful. So thanks a lot for watching for everyone. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and all that. Help the channel to grow and get bigger. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.